The Detroit Lions heavily featured on this list.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And let's do this, everybody. A new week of Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Matt Derry. Today is Monday, May 20th and a Tuesday, May 21st. Thanks for making this your first listen and checking us out wherever you get your podcast. Don't forget, you can watch us for free on our Locked On Lions YouTube channel. Please subscribe and check us out. And also, check out Locked On Detroit Sports on YouTube and subscribe to that as well. So you can get the postcasts following all the Tiger games, Lions, Red Wings, and Pistons with our guy, Jake Riepma. Locked On Lions today is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 with any winning $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn to get started. Follow us on Twitter at Derry Speaks, at Locked On Lions, Matt Derry Facebook fan page as well. And again, like I said, please subscribe on our Locked On Lions YouTube channel. Coming up on the show today, our friends at Pro Football Focus had a great new list out about the top 25 players 25 years old and younger in the NFL. The Lions absolutely dominate this list. What about the rest of the NFC North? You might say, oh, our friend Peter Bukowski, not going to like this at all. Top 25 players under 25 entering this season, chock full of Lions. And what about the Packers? What about the Bears? What about the Vikings? Not good if you're a Bears, Packers, Vikings fan. We'll get into that coming up momentarily as well. Also, Bleacher reported a great list out of players that could be cut, one each from all NFL teams. Who do they pick for the Lions? We will tell you about that. And also, the Lions have lost another member of their front office to the Washington Commanders. We will discuss that as well right here on Locked On Lions. But shout out to our everydayers. Thanks to all of you that watch and listen each and every day right here on Locked On Lions. Probably do a list, long list, maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, and give some shout outs. But you guys know who you are. Appreciate all of you that check out the podcast daily here, Monday through Friday, right here on Locked On Lions. And we'll, of course, do our post-game shows on Sundays as well. For the Lions, we got a lot of Monday nights. We got some Thursday nights, Sunday nights, all of that coming up this season right here on Locked On Lions. I love lists and I love Pro Football Focus. You guys know I'm a big PFF slappy. I am a subscriber. I love the numbers. I love the statistics. I love the grades and all of the stuff they put out. And today they put out a list written by Zoltan Bude, ranking the top 25 players under 25 entering this season. And in their headline, they say, Sauce Gardner, CJ Stroud, and more. Well, number one on this list is none other than Penei Sewell, who will not turn 24 until October. So the Lions right tackle is tops. He is the best player on this list, number one. So you might ask, all right, that's fair, right? I mean, PFF loves him. As they wrote in this article, quote, the Oregon product's 92.8 PFF overall grade and 95.1 PFF run blocking grade both led all NFL offensive linemen in 2023. He's 23 years of age, and he is a dominant player. So Penei Sewell makes the list. Let's just give you the top 10. Sewell at 1, Sauce Gardner of the Jets at 2, Trevor Lawrence at 3 of Jacksonville, Ja'Marr Chase of the Bengals, the fine wide receiver, coming in at 4. Free safety Kyle Hamilton of the Ravens is 5th. The Detroit Lions again represented at number 6 with Aidan Hutchinson, who comes in, like I said, 6th on this list. Bude writes, quote, Hutchinson flashed potential in his rookie season in 2022, but he brought his game to a whole new level in 2023. 91.2 PFF pass rushing grade, placed 5th, and trailed only an elite group of 4 players, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, Nick Bosa, and TJ Watt. Hutchinson's 110 total pressures during the regular season ranks 2nd among edge defenders, end quote. Then you got CJ Stroud 7th, Brock Purdy 8th, Garrett Wilson of the Jets 9th, and cornerback Trent McDuffie of the Chiefs coming in at number 10. All right. So you got 2 in the top 10. And folks, to tell you how good the Lions have done drafting wise and with their young players, they've got 5 on this list. Sewell at 1, Hutchinson at 6, Amon-Ra St. Brown at 11. All right. No argument there. Sam LaPorta, 22 years of age at number 19. And Jahmyr Gibbs, also 22 years of age, turning 23 at number 21. 5 of the 25 players on this list are Detroit Lions. And how could you really argue that? And all of these players were drafted by Brad Holmes. Sewell, Hutchinson, St. Brown, LaPorta, and Gibbs. You could seriously make an argument on this list of Brian Branch because Kyle Pitts comes in at number 25. And quite honestly, Kyle Pitts of the Falcons has been kind of a bust if you really look at the numbers. But there's good players on this list. Javon Holland, Bijan Robinson, Derek Stingley, Chris Olave. A lot of good players on this list. Puka Nacua coming in at 12 after Amon-Ra St. Brown. I absolutely love this. But what I love even more about this list, and remember, we got into that argument with Peter Bukowski from Locked On Packers, and we love Pete. You guys need to lay off Pete, not to go too crazy on him. But the Detroit Lions have 5 players on this list. The Green Bay Packers have 0. 0. 0.0. The Minnesota Vikings, 0. The Chicago Bears, 0. So if you're talking NFC North, top 25 players under 25, the Lions have 5. The rest of the division has none. Not a 1. Now, again, you can win with veterans. You can win with players that are 25 and older. If you're 26, 27, it's just an age. All right. But when we're talking about ranking the best young players in the league under 25, the Lions have 5 of them. Holy hell. That never used to happen. The Lions used to strike out on a ton of draft picks. Now you got 2 from this past year's class with LaPorta and with Gibbs. Sewell and Hutchinson and St. Brown. I mean, all homegrown Brad Holmes draft picks. Man, that's awesome. Lions, there were no teams even close. The Ravens had a handful. I think Baltimore had Hamilton as 1. How many did Baltimore have? They had Hamilton. They've got, I thought I saw another one on here. Tyler Linderbaum, their center. So the Ravens had a couple. The Eagles have a couple with Jalen Carter. And who's the other Eagle that I saw on this list? Maybe it was just the one. Niners had a couple, but no, the Lions had 5. And that should tell you all you need to know about Brad Holmes. And again, within the division, we've been hearing about the up-and-coming Bears. Oh, God, the Bears are going to be so good. The Packers, the Lions with 5 in the top 25, including the best player on the list in Penei Sewell. Amon-Ra St. Brown at number 11, finishing actually behind Garrett Wilson. I don't necessarily agree with that, with Wilson being at number 9. Sauce at 2, Wilson at 9. So you had 2 Jets in the top 10. Boudet writes, quote, St. Brown, who will turn 25 during the season, proved in 2023 that his breakout 2022 campaign was not a fluke. He's one of just 3 wide receivers to earn PFF overall grades above 90 in both 2022 and 2023, with Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson being the other 2. St. Brown has snagged 93.5% of his catchable targets over the past 2 seasons, which ranks 2nd among wide receivers. What's interesting, what's brought up there with the name of Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is not, N-O-T, not showing up for Vikings OTAs this week. Has not, at least yet. As you probably think, he's going to want more money. Amon-Ra St. Brown's deal is done. Penei Sewell's deal is done. We talked last week a lot about Jared Goff. Deal is done. Lions don't really have any contractual issues. They got to work on Aleem McNeil. Probably want to keep Taylor Decker. We'll see. But other than that, there can be no distractions. Obviously, later this week when OTAs start, we'll have to wait and see if Dan Campbell is there. Remember, Dan missed rookie minicamp a couple weeks ago for personal reasons. Hopefully, he's back for OTAs, and we can be done having that discussion. Because the Lions have to have Dan Campbell. But 5 in the top 25 under 25 is pretty sweet for the Lions. The future is so bright for this organization. All right, coming up next, one player who's under 25 who might not be here much longer. Bleacher Report speculates on that and more right here on Locked On Lions. It's a Monday edition. And Locked On Lions today brought to you by our good friends, as I mentioned before, at FanDuel. It's winner take all time in the NBA and NHL. And FanDuel is giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and more. Player props is fun if you're not into the NBA playoffs. Games have been okay. Love the kind of new teams we got with Indiana and Minnesota, Dallas with Kyrie and with Luka Doncic. So you want to play player props, you can do that for the NBA playoffs with FanDuel. Again, visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make every playoff shot count. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And don't forget, Lions odds at FanDuel for wins over under 10.5. Check those out at FanDuel.com/lockedon. Welcome back. It's a Monday edition of Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Everything schedule related we went over last week. In case you missed it, go back and check out the episodes from last week right here on Locked On Lions. I talked to somebody the other day that said the Lions are playing too many primetime games, too many short weeks, too much pressure. Too much pressure? Think about last year and how well the Lions did on primetime. Monday Night Football against the Raiders, 1. Sunday Night Football against the Rams in the playoffs, 1. Opening night, Thursday Night Football against the Chiefs, 1. Too many night games. I don't agree with that. Not this team, the way they prepare and the way they're coached. And that's one thing about this team that I love is the coaching staff. I really believe they have this team ready all the time. All right, so Bleacher Report came out with an article today, and let me get you all the details. The best player who could still be cut from every NFL roster in 2024 during the offseason. This is brought by David Kenyon. I'm not sure if he's related to Debbie Kenyon, but there you go. So they go through the list of every team and who could be cut. And ironically enough, the Jacksonville Jaguars on this list, the player that could be cut is none other than former Lions kicker 17 times over, Riley Patterson. Forgot he was even back on Jacksonville. But Kenyon writes, now that the team drafted Cam Little, Patterson could be let go. You know, if Riley Patterson gets cut by the Jags, you know the Lions are going to pick him back up. It's like a rite of spring. Anyway, when you get to Detroit and who could be cut from the Lions, any guesses out there? What do you guys think? I know I'm talking to myself, but who do you think could be cut from your Detroit Lions here in June, or not in June, but coming up in a couple weeks? The article, the author, David Kenyon, says it is none other than Levi Onwuzurike. Interesting. Quote, injuries unfortunately have plagued Levi Onwuzurike's recent seasons. He notched 35 tackles as a rookie in 2021, but has appeared in only 10 games since then. Detroit may have drafted a replacement with 6th-rounder Mekhi Wingo, absolutely, and releasing Onwuzurike would trim $1.7 million from the books. Levi this is his last chance. This is the 4th year of his 4-year deal, as he was drafted in the 2nd round in 2021. He's been a bust. I mean, and I went over this, I think we went over this a couple weeks ago. I think Brad Holmes has drafted 25 guys, and 24 of the 25 are still on the roster. I think Chase Lucas is the only one. It's either 26 out of 27 or 24 out of 25. And really, if you look at it, yes, Broderick Martin, I wouldn't label him as a bust. He's only played 1 year. But really, the one disappointment, the one bust on this list, of among all of Brad Holmes' draft picks, draftees, has been Levi Onwuzurike. He just hasn't worked out. He had a history of injuries dating back to his college career out in the Pac-12 at Washington, hasn't performed. And even when he's been healthy, big number 91 just isn't a high impact player. You know, going out and getting DJ Reader should tell you all you need to know about Levi Onwuzurike. The Lions don't feel he's a starter. Lions have gone out and gotten Reader to play alongside Aleem McNeil. You never know with what Pascal and Kaminsky are going to bring to the table. Broderick Martin, some others that they brought in. Mekhi Wingo, the 6th-round pick from LSU, is a steal. Is he ready to unseat Onwuzurike right here, right now? No. And is there a ton of depth on the defensive line? There's a lot of names. But after Reader and McNeil, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Lions' depth is so great at interior defensive linemen. But could Levi Onwuzurike save the team about $2 million in cap space and be a post-June 1 cut? Yeah. But what kind of shape is he in? Is he healthy? Can he contribute? You kind of want a guy on your team on the last year of his deal, though. That's why Brad Holmes has struck it rich with so many one-year contracts. Marcus Davenport's on a 1-year deal. Lee McNeil right now, at least, is playing on a 1-year deal. Lions went out and got that kid from the CFL, Matthew Betts, who had 18 sacks. He's on a 1-year contract. Alex Anzalone, when he came in, was on a 1-year deal. Brad Holmes likes to see guys that are motivated. If Onwuzurike plays well, great. He's going to get paid. If he doesn't, he's gone. But one player from each team they had to pick, and it's Onwuzurike, does not surprise me at all because he just has not performed in 3 years. And again, that $2 million salary could, or at least that $2 million cap hit and cap space that could be freed up may be an option for this franchise. So certainly interesting pick there. And we'll have to see what Brad Holmes, if other players get released, like on this list, Dallas was listed with Chauncey Golson, the Detroit native, who also plays along that defensive line. Lions and Brad Holmes love versatility. They like guys like Kaminsky, Pascal, this kid Betts, can play inside and outside. Onwuzurike really is just a defensive tackle. And if Mekhi Wingo looks as advertised and is a guy that only slipped to the 6th round coming out of LSU because of the injury concerns that he had coming out of college, and he's healthy, he could be really good. And again, Lions are waiting on Broderick Martin. They took him with a high pick last year with the hopes that he can contribute. That could certainly leave a guy like Onwuzurike out. But amazing to me, he's still here. So I can understand why that David Kenyon from Bleacher Report put him on the list. You could totally see that. So we'll see. And again, Holmes has been very good with a lot of these 1-year flyers. The hope is that Marcus Davenport turns in a 9-10 sack season like he had a few years ago when he was in New Orleans, because the ability's there. Onwuzurike has been a disappointment. But again, he hasn't been healthy. But when he's been healthy, he's been lapped. There have been guys like Quentin Bohanna that have played more than Onwuzurike. And he was pretty much a practice squad player last year for the Lions, but came up and contributed. So we'll have to see if that comes to fruition. All right, Lions have lost a couple of front office executives recently to the Washington Commanders. And they lose another one. We will tell you about that coming up next. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's actually tells you how good the Lions franchise has been that other teams have come after their people. We'll discuss next right here on Locked On Lions on a Monday. Hey, are you looking for tickets to something last minute, possibly the theater, sporting events, whatever it is? Go to Gametime. The Gametime app is amazing. Killer last minute deals, all in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Gametime takes the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets. We just got the schedule last week, folks. Woo! We know Rams, Bucks, Seahawks in September, Titans in October. Jags and Bears in November, Packers, Bills, and Vikings in December, including Sunday night game, Monday night game with Seattle, Thursday night game with Green Bay, Sunday afternoon, late afternoon against the Bills. You want tickets to these Lions games? Go to Gametime right now. Go to the app and check it out and get yourself some tickets. All right. Great deals for some of these games. Last minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals, all is there. And like I said, the views from your seat on the Gametime app are the best. Section 112 or 325 or whatever it is. You know exactly where you're sitting, and you'll get a feel for where you're sitting on the Gametime app. All right. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code LOCKEDON NFL for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. All right, it's a Monday edition of Locked On Lions, and as was reported over the weekend, the Washington Commanders once again are dipping into the Detroit Lions pool to grab a front office member. As first reported by Mike Garafolo over the weekend, but confirmed today by the Washington Commanders, they have hired Lions exec Brandon Sosna to be their new senior VP of football operations. Sosna, according to the Commanders, will report directly to general manager Adam Peters, and he will be Washington's lead contract negotiator. This from the Commanders. Quote, "We are excited to welcome Brandon Sosna to the Washington Commanders. Brandon was a key addition to Brad Holmes' staff in 2022 and played a vital role in assisting the Lions in their roster construction these past two seasons. His expertise on the salary cap and in contract negotiations, along with his well-rounded skill set, developed through his unique career across the NFL and collegiate athletics, makes him a great fit for the front office we are building here in Washington. I'd like to thank the Detroit Lions organization and specifically President 222, I added that myself, Rod Wood, who was first class and how he handled the process of getting Brandon to Washington. Brandon is a home run hire, and we are thrilled to welcome him to the DMV. Sosna is a young dude. He went to college at the University of Pennsylvania with my cousin. He's 31, fast riser. He was with USC for a few years, and now moves into a front office role with the Washington Commanders. So, look, this is a testament to the Lions front office and to the people that the Lions have hired over the last 3 or 4 years and to what they've developed as a front office. I'm still stunned that Mike Disner hasn't been poached from another team. But here's the Lions with Ray Agnew, John Dorsey, Disner, Brad Holmes, all of these people. And you bring in a young guy like Brandon Sosna, who helped be their lead negotiator. And the Commanders, who are a young front office as well, go out and obviously probably paid him more to go get him. That shows that the Lions are doing something right. You know, what was the old joke back in the day? Lions head coaches never became head coaches anywhere else after they were let go by the Lions. That was the running joke. It went on for years. And, you know, the Commanders are an organization that needs a lot of help, right? And so this doesn't surprise me, that this is happening. And shout out to Brad Holmes for bringing in good people, because now, now other teams are poaching their guys, and that's okay. So give them credit. I'm trying to find, because I'm completely drawing a blank. The Lions lost, oh my gosh, Lance Newmark. My gosh, man. Lance Newmark, of course, was at the Lions for over 20 years. And in February, the Commanders hired him away from the Lions. Newmark ran scouting for many, many years for the Lions. And also Dave Sears was hired away from the Arizona Cardinals, who was also a front office guy. So Sears, Newmark, and Sosna all gone. But the Lions have added Dwayne Joseph, pretty recently, guy that I went to college with at Syracuse, who's been a very good assistant GM and scout for many years. So the Lions keep replenishing. But like I said, Newmark, Sears, and now Sosna all gone is a testament to what the Lions have put together in their front office and why this team has gone from 3 wins to 9 wins to 14 wins, if you count the 2 playoff wins last year. It's because they have good people up top. If you got good ownership and you're good up top and you got good people in your front office, you're going to find players. You're going to sign good players. You're going to draft good players. You're going to win a lot of games. All right. The bad front offices are the ones where guys have been around way too long, and aren't effective. Other teams don't want them. So congratulations to Brandon Sosna, and the Lions will find somebody to replace him that'll fit right in to this franchise. So kudos though to the Commanders. Commanders to me have been such a laughing stock for so many years, especially under Daniel Snyder. But they seem to be doing it right. And from all indications, Jaden Daniels has been a home run so far for them as they took him with the number 2 overall pick. All right, that'll do it for us. We're back again tomorrow with another episode of Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. May have a surprise guest tomorrow, a new face in town. We are working on getting her on the air. We will do that either tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, right here on Locked On Lions. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.